And it looks like we are live.
Awesome. Go ahead and do a quick welcome, Harlequin, and I'm
Okay.
going to get our screen slides ready.
Okay. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to our team Zoom. My name is Harlequin Murray. I am your co-host, as I am every Monday night. And this is a team Zoom for everyone on Ellen Winn's team. We do have other people who join us occasionally, but not always. But it's designed for you to go and get some information and ask questions because we don't always get a chance to ask questions during the huddle every day. But if you are new and you're joining us for the first time, welcome. We're excited to get to know you and to work with you. Looking forward to getting to know you better. But for those of you who are not familiar with Ellen, she is our senior team leader. She lives in Dallas, Georgia, which is where she was born and raised and has lived almost all of her life. She did live a little in Atlanta for a little bit, but for the most part, she's lived in Dallas, Georgia. But she is a very strong and capable entrepreneur. She's worked in the corporate arena for many years in the restaurant industry. She started her own restaurant business, had a couple of different pizza restaurants of her own, and then she also has been in the network marketing industry. That's where I met her almost 20 years ago. And she has a lot of experience with that. She was doing the training for on a national level whenever I first met her. But she currently owns a limousine company. She has an insurance agency that she started herself. She also is a landlord and has multiple rental properties that she works with, but she also has a very, very strong DAC business that she has had for almost 8 years now. But anyways, without further ado, Miss Ellen, go ahead and take it away.
Excellent. Thanks, Harlequin. I appreciate that intro and appreciate you being here every week, co-hosting with me. And for you guys that are here live, thanks for taking time out of your Monday evening to be here. If you're watching on a replay, we appreciate you taking time to do that as well. I want to make these calls valuable for you, so we won't go excessively long unless you have questions that would keep us here for any length of time. We'll go through the information that I have. Share a little bit with you, and then we'll go to any questions that you have. But, Harlequin just introduced me, talking about how she met me in the network marketing industry. And I want to talk to you about something that I really don't talk about a lot, and that is my network marketing history. I got started, and many of you may or may not be familiar with what network marketing is, but I want to give you the big picture view of that. When I got started in my restaurant in 1997, I walked away from corporate America and I started my own brand of pizza restaurants, deciding not to franchise with Domino's, where I had been working for 8.5 years. And 6.5 years into having two restaurants, 40 plus employees, and just the day to day grind, I hit burnout and I was hitting a brick wall. I had lost my passion for what I was doing, and it was really time for me to do something else. So, as I was searching, I was having a conversation with a friend one day, and who also had had a big background in the restaurant industry, had been a business coach, and she had a couple of friends that had been tremendously successful in the network marketing industry. And I'm going, okay, what is that? And she said, you just need to meet Sharon and Betsy and let them tell their story. So she made the introduction, and I was blown away with the success that these two ladies had had. They had built a multi-million-dollar business with a company called A.L. Williams. And A.L. Williams was an insurance company. Now they have moved into Primerica. For those of you that are familiar with Primerica, that was an old A.L. Williams company. And they had a network marketing model. So, what is network marketing? Network marketing is just a means of taking products and services to market rather than through traditional advertising, where people are paying for ads or print ads or whatever. Instead of spending money on traditional ads, network marketing pays the network of marketers commissions for spreading the word and bringing customers to the table. So that was my first introduction to the network marketing space, was hearing a story about a couple of people that had made millions in an insurance space that was using a network marketing distribution model. Over time, I saw a couple other things. A.L. Williams wasn't around at that time. They'd already made that transition, and my friends weren't involved anymore. But I got involved in a travel company and two or three other things. And then where I met Harlequin, we were involved in a telecommunications company. So my history in the network marketing space, for the most part, has been marketing real services. Telecommunications, where we had cell phones and we had a voice over IP product that would save people money. We had the insurance space back there with DAC. We've got an insurance product that's really a health share product, the B2B services that we offer with our funding. And I tell you this story because when I saw the model itself and the way where you can get paid for getting your own customers, but you can also earn a significant income by building a team, it took me back to my days in the restaurant space where when I worked in corporate with Domino's Pizza, I had 74 corporate stores that I oversaw here in the state of Georgia on their operations side. And at one point, I was in the training side. So I was running the state, but I also had a lot of interaction with our franchisees. The I had We had our franchise development team out of our corporate office in Norcross, Georgia, and we did ride-alongs. I'd do ride-alongs with the franchise I forget what they were called, franchise coordinators, and they would do ride-alongs with us as corporate supervisors, just kind of bouncing ideas off of each other. But most of the stores in Georgia were franchised owned Domino's, and as a franchise store, if you don't know how that model works, the company that does the franchisor um, gets a royalty commission off of every sale that gets transacted through their franchisees. Okay. And at the time, Domino's Pizza was making 5.5% in royalties. I don't know what it is today, probably about the same, but 5.5% of the net sales, meaning the gross sales after sales tax, they get 5.5% off the top, whether that franchisee makes money or not. So I was very familiar with the franchise model and how Domino's Pizza corporate made money. So when I first saw the network marketing model and saw the ability to build a team and be able to have a really big business where I was leveraging my income off of other people, like I did with my restaurant when I had 40 employees, right? But the thing was, my 40 employees always got paid whether I was making money as a restaurant owner or not. They were on payroll. They got paid week in and week out, and I had all this huge overhead. So when I first saw the model of the home-based business, it was a light bulb moment for me because I realized that it was the same type model as franchising was, and I could be like the corporate of my own business, like Domino's was, earning those 5.5% royalties, but I would earn through the commission plan with whatever company I was involved with. So I quickly saw that model, and this was back over 20 years ago, and just kept working with a couple of companies. I had a 7.5 year run with a company where I met Harlequin, made some really good money there. Then they had some changes in the industry and some leadership change, that it wasn't a family run business like we have with DAC. And I decided to go in a different direction. And I had some team leaders that just took off in a different direction, and it kind of spoiled the fun for what I was doing. And for a long time, I decided I wasn't going to do any more direct sales, network marketing, as we call it, until I saw DAC. And DAC came along at a time where I had gone through that period of, nope, I don't want anything to do with the industry anymore. Don't want to be pitched on anything new. Don't want to buy your lotions and potions or any of that stuff. But when I saw DAC, it really resonated with me because it's a real service and it's a unique service that not everyone is offering. And honestly, at this point, 10 years in with DAC as a company, they do it better than anyone in the alternative capital space. So when I first saw this presentation 8 years ago, I was blown away by what they were offering. I knew there was a tremendous need for it because of my background as a restaurant owner. But to hear my sponsors telling the story that they were able to earn a commission with a comma in it just by helping someone and referring them over to the company, I'm going, you guys up to? All right. Because a lot of times in traditional network marketing, you make, you know, 20, $50 or $100 or a few $100s when you make a referral. But they caught my attention when it was thousands that they were able to make. So I took a look at it, and after seeing David Rutz and really getting a feel for his heart and knowing his true vision and passion for what he has to offer, I got involved. And on day one, I started building a team. And some of you may have heard my first 30 days, I had 300 people in my organization because I got excited and I invited a few people who invited a few people who invited a few people. And before you know it, we had a team of excited people in our first 30 days. So that's my story on network marketing. So we don't call the DAC model a network marketing model, although our compensation plan is a multi-level compensation plan, but I don't talk about it that way. It's more structured like an insurance agency is. Through my experience in insurance, as Harlequin introduced me, you can start out as an insurance agent, or you can have a general agency where, as a general agency broker type role, you can bring in other agents and earn an override spread between what they're earning and what your agency is earning. And that's the exact same structure that DAC has. So I hear new agents coming in, new brokers coming in with us, and they're talking about the MLM pay and this and that. I would caution you and say, don't do it. Some people, it's exciting to them and they see the vision, they hear that, and they know that they can build a team. But for most people, it's a turnoff. So talk about our business model more as an insurance agency, commission spread, as David explains it in our compensation model there. So I went off on something that had no plan on talking about, but that just kind of came to mind with that introduction. So thanks, Harlequin. I want to get us into SlideShare, go through our team recognition, and then we'll go to questions if anyone has something. All right, let's start out with our top recruiters for the week. And this is for the week of 3/16 through 3/22. In first place, we have Ben Randalls. Ben is on the nationwide company leaderboard. He's in second place on the March Madness promotion. So congratulations, Ben. Super proud to have you on my team and seeing the numbers that you're posting on the boards here. 12 new recruits. In second place, we had Willie Crawford with 6 new recruits. Willie's been getting after it. He's been using multiple means of reaching out to his network. A lot of it is warm market, people that he's had in his contact database for a long time, and Willie's doing a great job with that. So congratulations, Willie, bringing on 6 new brokers for the week. In third place, we have Jeff Perry, Perksis LLC. Jeff had 2 new brokers come in, as did Phoenix Financials SD LLC with 2 new recruits. So to be named on the top leaderboard, you had to have at least 2 or more. Many people in the team had 1 new broker get started for the week. Congratulations to you guys as well. And even if you didn't have somebody get started, but if you had a conversation, you invited someone, or you did that peak interest conversation of, hey, are you open to making additional money outside of what you're currently doing? If you've started that conversation, congratulations to you too. It's just a matter of time before you make it to the leaderboard and start seeing your team grow. Okay. Also want to congratulate new brokers who've gotten off to a fast start. by completing their broker certification in their first 7 days. We had Anthony de Blasio, Cody Pack, D2D Kingdom Intelligence Systems, Di Tran, Jenny Olvera, and Patricia Baker, who's on here tonight. So congratulations to you guys for coming in and really taking it seriously, getting that certification out of the way. Don't stop at certification. You want to go on through and do the business funding training as well. That's going to take you into that deeper dive on who to market to, really your marketing methods on the business funding, and some more real life scenarios, some reach out methods there. But you want to go on into that. And then I encourage you to do the team building training, and also make sure you pay attention to the compensation plan. Okay. As a reminder, our weekly Zoom schedule, Harlequin was talking about, we do these calls so you have an opportunity to get your questions answered. We do a daily huddle Monday through Friday. The corporate team does. Starts at 11:30 a.m. Actually, we open up the lines at 11:25 a.m. to allow people to introduce themselves and say where they're calling in from, or share a quick testimonial if they've had a success story they want to share. Then we do an 8 to 10 minute huddle with our quarterback of the day. Our quarterbacks are David Rutz, McGuire Tate out of the corporate team, and then myself. I have the honor of being the quarterback one day a week. We have Matthew and Nick Duhame, who is a father-son team, and they do a fabulous job too. So those are the 5 quarterbacks that you'll see rotating throughout the week, sharing our stories. And then on Friday, it's always a broker update. And then our Monday night Zooms here for zoom.ellenwin.link for our team Zooms. Okay. I want to talk real quick about broker March Madness, and then I want to touch on our game plan document. I talked about that when I led the huddle on Friday. I want to go through a couple of things with you on that. But our March Madness broker update, let's go in to see who is there on that. March Madness, Broker Resource Center. We've got 8 days left, and we're going to go from 16 down to the Elite 8. But as you can see, Ben is in second place. We also have Linhan Tran, who is on my team in the top 8 right now. There, Nick and Matt, they're just killing it. They do a lot of phone reach outs. They work from South America. They're based in South America. They're United States citizens, but they're working from Argentina. So their main reach out is using phone and email or social media messaging. The things that we teach, they're doing it, but they're forced to do it. They don't have the ability to walk into a local restaurant or a local business, or they don't have the ability to go hang out at the Home Depot parking lot and pass out drop cards unless they're visiting. And Matt had a great story last time he was here on that. Also, in the top 16, we have Victor Council, who is on Harlequin's team. So that makes him on my team. So we've got 3 people in our organization that are in the top 16. Willie was like number 17 or 18. I just knew he was going to make it into the top 16, but somebody edged him out there at the last minute. So that's where you find that. Now let's go over and talk about the document and show you where that is. So we're at the Broker Resource Center, dactraining.com under resources, or you can access this through your dashboard, your DAC back office, right? But the game plan document is under team building. So when you open that up, you've got 2 presentation folders. You've got a keynote and PowerPoint, and there's an issue with the PowerPoint right now. I've asked David to take a look at that. I tried to download it and it didn't want to download properly. So he's got to update that. But the game plan document, and then also the welcome letter. Those of you that have not received a welcome letter recently, this should be an updated copy of the welcome letter that gets emailed out to our new brokers, so you can take a look at what's getting sent there. But the game plan document, this is really the key to your success as a DAC broker. It's what David laid out, what he's done successfully building multi-million-dollar businesses in the past, and what I've been taught to do in the past, and it really works. So it's a matter of whether you're going to take time to do this or not. So when you're working, you're going to go through and establish the game plan and relationship. If you're working one-on-one with someone, find out what people's why is. There's a great exercise in this document about the why. Go through. I don't want to read this. You can go through it and read it yourself. It's self-explanatory. But the income piece of this, I was thinking sometimes this is overwhelming when you look at what your desired monthly income is. Most people want to shoot for a really high number. I know time and time again, I've sat down with people and asked them, hey, how much money would you like to make with your new business? And they'll go, well, I want to make $5,000 a month, or I want to make $10,000 a month. And then when you really get down to it, they're asking to make a number that they've never made in their life before. And they're expecting that they want to get out of the gates here and make that kind of money. So be realistic when you set your goals and look at what you're currently making, or what maybe how much you've made at another job before, and set your sights on something that is attainable for you, especially whether you're working this full-time or part-time. And most of you are probably going to be working part-time with us. I'm still doing DAC part-time. I've got, as Harlequin said, I have a limousine business. I have an insurance agency. I have rental property, and I like to play golf. I played golf today instead of being in my office working. So I'm doing DAC on a part-time basis, but part-time efforts can really turn into a serious income here with DAC. You know, you can earn on a part-time basis as much with DAC as a lot of people earn full-time. What if you could earn enough to average $20 an hour for a 40-hour work week over the course of a year? Making $40,000 extra with your DAC business just by doing it part-time? That's totally attainable, right? And some of you, that might replace your current income, but others that would just be a nice additional income. It's totally attainable, but whatever that number looks like to you, you want to break it down, your desired monthly income, and then whatever that number is, divide it by the tier percentages. So what does that mean? So everybody starts at 40% if you are certified, okay? And I'm assuming that everybody watching this tonight has gone through the certification. So your base pay is 40%. You move up that tier as you get clients. You can move all the way up to 45% with just one client if that one client is 2,000 or more in bonus revenue. If that one client is less than 2,000 but is 1,000, then you move to the 42.5% here, right? I'm not going to go through the comp plan training. That's separate, but just understanding that. So start with the base tier of, I would say, do 45%, because after you start getting clients, you're going to be at 45% quickly. So that desired monthly income, and let's say it's $2,000. Give you that, because that'd be an extra $24,000 a year. 2,000 divided by 45% would be $4,444 in bonus revenue needed. Okay, so 4444. Your goal is, in this example, 10,000. We suggest you use 50%. Okay, David's saying 50%. I went with a modest goal of 45. Let's do that at 45. 2,000 divided by 50%. So 4,000 in bonus revenue. Number three, total bonus revenue, okay? 4,000 divided by 4,000, which is our average funding, okay? That's the average bonus revenue. That equals one client a month. How about that? $2,000 extra, one client a month. Now, how many clients do you need to talk to? We determined that it takes about 80 conversations if you're doing just one-on-one reach outs. Hey, you don't know me directly, but I'm local and I wanted to introduce myself. I'm in the business funding space. We're here to help you grow or expand if you ever run into a situation or a tight pinch where you're trying to get working capital and your bank can't help you, we're your best alternative. You go through that, but think about this. You need one client, 80 conversations in a month. Break that down on a weekly basis. If you're working 5 days a week, part-time, or for 4 weeks, that's 20 clients a day. I mean, 20 clients a week to have a conversation with. Divided by five, that's 4 new conversations a day. So don't tell me you don't have time for DAC when it's only 4 conversations that could be generating you an extra $2,000 a month. And if you need to make more than that, just ramp up the number of conversations that you're having. But when you break it down on a daily basis or weekly basis and then a daily basis, those numbers are really very small in comparison to the return that you get, the bang for your buck or the bang for your time investment. So I'm going to go away from that and we'll go to any questions that you guys have. If you've got a question or comment, just use the react button down at the bottom of the screen. Harlequin, I can see there's a lot in the chat. If that is a question, we can address that. But let's go to Joanne first. I'm going to ask you to unmute. How are you doing tonight?
Good evening, everyone.
Good
I
evening.
I just wanted to make a comment. Um, I've been out there spreading the word that I'm a local independent funding broker, and I just joined the chambers last week. So they invited me to a chambers meeting tomorrow where it's a mixer and there's 5 different chambers that are going to be there
Oh,
from
wow.
different areas. So I just ordered my cards and stuff last week. So they're here. So I'm ready to rock and roll. I mean, it's all about building relationships, talking to people, finding out what people's needs are, communicating with everybody, and, just getting the feel of, you may not need me now, but I'm here
Yeah,
in case.
absolutely.
So I'm excited. I can't wait. It's
Well,
from 5.
congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm excited and I'm trying to get my rest up today so that I can be ready and prepared for tomorrow.
Yeah, so be prepared. If you don't have a name tag, I encourage you to make a name tag. When I first got started, I didn't have a professional name tag, but I found one of these clear plastic name tag holders that you can buy at Office Max or whatever local print shop is near,
Mhm.
where you can have your name printed and the DAC logo. So you've got something to wear that looks professional.
Right.
And then, of course, having your cards as well. Make sure you're dressed professionally, dressed sharp. Make sure you've got fresh breath as you're out there interacting with
Right.
people and talking, right? And
Yeah.
I'm not saying this specifically for you, Joanne,
Yeah.
but just everybody that's listening to this. Sometimes people don't
I
even
agree.
take those things into consideration. Also, if you're wearing a name tag, you want to wear your name tag on your right side. Reason being on that, when you're out meeting and greeting and shaking hands with people, if the name tag is on the right hand, people are naturally looking to your right to make that hand connection, and it's easy for them to read the name tag and your logo or a DAC. If you had an embroidered shirt like I do tonight, then
Mhm.
that would be on the left side of your shirt. So
Oh,
just basic networking stuff. So, as a goal tomorrow, make sure that you leave that meeting and you set 3 to 5 appointments with the people that you meet, people that you connect with that you feel like will be good referral partners for you, and just sit down and figure out how you can help them. Don't worry about selling your goods or services, but being more of a connector and
right.
figuring out how you can help each other. So
Okay.
good stuff.
I'm excited. So I'll give a report on Wednesday.
Excellent. Yeah, and if you get $100,000 in funding or it's $10,000 in bonus revenue, DAC will reimburse you your chamber membership up to $500 in a year's time. So,
Oh,
tremendous incentive there for you to be involved in your chamber. I've got a quick story, and then we'll go to the next question here with Ray. I have a funding client. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago as we're looking at the March Madness board, and I had a funding that went in, and I thought they were going to accept the offer, and they declined the offer. They were a referral to me through the local chamber. Okay. And I got a call from Wade today, and he said, "Hey, your client XYZ, they called today and they have been shopping. They've been shopping. They've been shopping. In fact, they've almost shopped so much that they've shot themselves in the foot, but we still have the best offer for them, and they've decided to accept the offer." So just know DAC stands behind that guarantee that we have the best offer, and these folks, they'll be lucky to still get the original offer after they've gone out, and instead of taking our word for it, they've gone and shopped for themselves and found that we really did have the best offer in the first place. So no,
Awesome.
you're
Thank you.
offering a great product.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, let's go to Ray. Hey, Ray, how are you tonight?
Good evening to everyone. Good evening. Congrats, Ellen and Joanne. I just wanted to make a comment when you was talking earlier about how you was in the networking marketing industry and how you didn't want to. I was somewhat pretty much in that same, situation where I was like, I was just turned off by a lot of things. And when I first heard about Dave Allen Capital, I actually was looking at videos. And at the time, with my sponsor before she passed away, she got in it before I of course. So I have to say, so far, I really appreciate Dave Allen Capital. 'Cause like I said, I mean, I've signed up with like other health and wellness products, but I usually use them for like discounts on stuff. And I really hadn't been pushing them that much. But I have to say that overall, I've really liked this one out of the many of the things that are out there. So just wanted to share that I was down that same path with that same way with how you felt too. So that's
Yeah,
all.
excellent. Well, thanks for sharing that, Ray. And I signed up with a company several months ago. A friend of mine was telling me about some nutritional products, and at that time I was looking to make a couple of tweaks in my daily regimen. So I signed up as a distributor to get that wholesale price, right? That's how
Mm-hmm.
they bring in as a distributor. And I said, I'm not going to build a team. She offered to hold meetings at my house and bring people in and put a team under me. And I'm going, I'm not interested in doing that. I'm very particular and very protective on what I put my name behind. So
Yeah.
I declined that offer. But a couple of months in, I decided the products weren't a great fit for me, but they were expensive as all get out. I'm able to get better products on Amazon than I was able to order through, and you had to meet the minimum requirement to get free shipping, etc. So most of them aren't all they're cut out to be. There's just
Yeah.
a lot of money going into the compensation plan, and that's not the case here. DAC gets paid by the lender, and whatever that money is that gets paid by the lender, because they're going to pay it to somebody, then DAC shares that with us. So
And there's no auto ship. That's one thing I liked about it. No
that's
auto
right.
ship.
No auto ship. You just got to do some personal production every
Yes,
6 months.
very
Have
true.
$1,000 in personal bonus revenue, and you've
Yeah.
met those qualifications. Excellent. Okay, Ray. Thank you for your comments. Let's go to Melinda.
Thank you.
You bet, Melinda.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Ellen,
You
for
bet.
your leadership. And yeah, this is just an awesome program. But a couple of things I just wanted to share real quickly. And I was excited. I was out Saturday going to the hair salons and barbershops. I was excited that I only had one drop card left. So, I mean, I had printed copies, but which means I went through 99 drop cards since I ordered them in January. My order was on January 30th, and from then until Saturday, I gave out 99 cards. So I'm expecting my first funding to come through. So, you
Very
said you have to do about
good.
80. I gave out 100 drop cards plus flyers. So the
Very
second thing
good.
is I went into a random barbershop. There was one guy working on his client, and I introduced myself, gave a flyer, and the guy in the chair asked about funding churches. So I said I wasn't sure if we fund churches, but he took my information, and I was able to get home and contact the support team. And they said, yes, this is just for information for others, just in case. Yes, we do fund churches provided they have other income sources other than donations. So if they have a store or food drive or something that brings in revenue outside of just donations. So yes, we do fund churches. So I was excited about that. I didn't receive the gentleman's name in the chair, but I am going to go back to the barber shop tomorrow to let him know that, hey, yes, if you can have your client call me or give me his number, what have you, yes, we can fund churches. So I'm excited about that as well. And lastly, Joanne is on my team, so I'm super proud of her for doing the darn thing. Get it, Joanne.
Excellent. I love it. Teamwork makes the dream work. Yes, ma'am. Very good. Thanks for sharing that. All
Thank
right. Let's go to Benjamin. Hello, hello. How are you this evening?
Doing incredible. And yourself?
I'm excellent. Thank you.
Yes, you are. Thank you so very much for your leadership. I guess I'm gonna start off by basically asking you, with the emails that you send out, which kept me engaged, the welcome email, and now that you shared that, is that automated?
It
Or
is.
now take that and send it to folks now that we're in?
Well, great question. So, when someone new joins my team, they're automatically going to start receiving those emails. They're automated to the point that I've pre-written the emails and I have them in an autoresponder series, but I manually add people to my email list. So every day, most cases every day, unless I'm on the golf course and get sidetracked, I go in and I download the new brokers that have joined, and then I upload them into my, excuse me, into my email system, and I get them started on that. Welcome to one of the fastest growing teams in DAC, right? And explain that you either enrolled through my link or someone on my team's link, and I'm your senior team leader. Here's who I am, and I give that overview because I think people are going, well, who is this? Why is she reaching out to me and all that? So I do that introduction just for that credibility and my experience so that they know that I'm here. For folks that have not seen, or you can go back and look for that, the welcome to our DAC family email. And that first paragraph, I say that, if you're working with an active enroller, they should be your first point of contact. I don't want to be that point of contact, but if you don't have someone that's actively engaged in DAC, I'm happy to be that point of contact, or I'll be that point of contact and find the active person in your team between you and I that you should be reaching out to, right? But all of those emails go out automatically, so you don't need to forward them to anybody. Your team will be getting them. If they're not getting my emails, then it's one of two reasons. Either they have been in my email system, which is Get Response. They've been in it and they have totally blocked their email from being used by another sender, which Get Response is very protective on that so that it helps their deliverability. Or they had something in their email that did not allow my system to send. For example, if they're using a personal domain, like I have dacfundingoptions.com, and if my at name, if it weren't Ellen at dacfundingoptions.com, if it were info or marketing or some generic name that could be an inbox that goes to multiple people, then Get Response will not allow that to send. So if someone's using info on their email, I may even look to see what their first name is, and I'll change info to their first name to hope that it gets delivered to them from me. So that's how that works.
Yeah, thank you very much. And Joanne, one of the key questions I've learned in networking events is simply asking individuals, first, congratulations on taking activity, is who is the ideal client for you? when you're talking to business owners? No one asked that question. So if you ask that question and they'll be like, wow, no one asked me that. Who is the ideal client for you? And people will remember that question and will remember you.
Oh,
That's
thank
right.
you.
Yeah,
I
that's a great
appreciate it.
tip.
Thank you.
All right. Was that it? I've got Ray with a hand back up. What you got, Ray?
Hey, I just had a question. So I noticed in the back office, the last time I was back there, at one point they had a flyer for like the income opportunity for DAC, and are they going to ever update another flyer of some sort that we can use? Because I know they had one, and when I talked to support, that was been a while ago. Um, I know they said that I guess whatever flyer that I originally had, they no longer had back there. So I just want to know if they was going to ever update, because I know there were other flyers that were, due to the, for the month specials and stuff like that. But I
Right.
didn't see anything as far as the business opportunity part for DAC. So if anybody know anything, or
I don't know. I've never used one of those flyers, Ray. I always use the website. If I'm talking to someone and I've piqued their interest by asking, hey, are you open to making money outside of what you're currently doing? If they say yes, then I go into hey, I've got something I'd like to share with you. It may or may not be a good fit, but it'll only take you about 4 minutes to check it out. If you'd like, I can send that to you. And then I get permission and they say yes. So I send them to the partner page that is just that 4 minute video. David has updated the partner page, so the verbiage on there is a little bit different. The 4 minute video
uh-huh.
is, I've gone back and rewatched that, and it's a great intro into who DAC is looking for. And if they listen to that and it piques their interest, then they can go on and watch the 24-minute video. But I always use the video. I think that's
Yeah, I have used the video.
Mhm.
I did, like I said, there was a flyer that I used at one point, and I had posted. Actually, I posted the flyer in a laundromat, but that was about maybe a year or so
Okay.
ago, and I got one response. But when I contacted the person, they never called me back. So I only got one response out of it. So I said, well, I just didn't know if they was going to ever update any additional, material back there for that for business opportunity
Gotcha.
besides the website.
You know, this would be something you creating it on your own where you could take something off of the website where I
Mm,
like what it says, where it says, let me go over to that partner page real quick. Just an idea, thinking about laundromats, and I know you've probably seen these, but sometimes people will have something that they're wanting to sell or an opportunity or whatever, and they'll have a flyer, and then they'll have the little information pieces and have it cut where you can tear
yeah,
off one of those tabs at the bottom. I mean, if you want to put stuff in places like that, I would do a flyer like that if that's something that you want to try.
yeah. I've done
But
that before. Yep, in the
yeah,
past for something else. Yeah, so that's a good
yeah.
idea.
On that, I like how David has it worded, build a high income business helping companies get funded. So, you could create a flyer on your own and it just be generic. I wouldn't put the company name on that flyer. I would force people to go look at the link that you send them, create a QR code or something that takes them to
Mhm.
your webpage. Because if they just see it's David Allen Capital or Bank Breezy, they're liable to just Google the name of the company if you leave that up to chance, and then they'll end up on somebody else's page. So make sure you don't put a name of the company, just send a direct link that takes them over to your page so that they're engaged with you and not just a random DAC agent.
Okay, that's a good idea. Thank you.
You bet. Thanks for the question. All right, anybody else before we wrap up? Harlequin, you
Yeah,
got anything?
yes. One thing I will say for Joanne, when you go to that event, take your calendar with you and book appointments directly with them if they have their calendar with them. And then 210 Credit Amigo, has a question.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah, my name's Alex. Sorry, that's my my social media profile.
Welcome,
210
Alex.
Credit Migo. So yeah, I'm actually new to the company, and not new to the whole credit, or I'm sorry, the business funding side. I've actually I'm a credit repair specialist. I've had my company for almost 4 years now. But over the course of our company and just natural growth and things like that, been open to. I've actually transitioned more to establishing and helping people or businesses grow or establish their business credit.
Mm-hmm.
But over the last year, been looking into getting into the business funding uh, uh, portion of things, and have had a lot of I guess you could say bad experiences with the partnerships in the business funding industry. A lot of them just weren't really uh, uh, I guess you could say good people, very shady, and definitely had some times where I actually got, I guess you could say, screwed over. I'd refer them clients, they get funded for 250, and then I wouldn't get any referrals or whatever, and it was just really it was just really frustrating to not be able to have a system where it's I can see if they're following up the leads, if they weren't approved, why not, and just not having any kind of back office or anything like that. So when I did come across David Allen Capital, really impressive, I have to say, for first and foremost, super impressive, the system that he has and the platform that's utilized, and definitely like the way everything is structured. So now, rather than having to hand it off to somebody and rely on them to communicate with our clients, communicate with me, now I'm actually the direct connection. So it's really cool. I really like that. But my question, I actually do have several questions. I've only been, I guess you could say, certified for about a week now. But one of the things, so with me being established as far as a credit repair specialist and built that brand over the last few years as the 210 Credit Migo, here in San Antonio, I'm definitely well known for that. So I did have a lot of clients and potential leads asking, well, do you do business credit? Do you do business funding? So kind of how I naturally progressed. But having established our company already as a credit repair company, and now just adding business funding to the services that we do, I guess my question is, can I still, I guess, promote my company, but just, hey, I'm owner of Universal Recovery Consultants, but I'm also a certified independent funding broker. Is that the correct way to kind of
Yeah,
integrate the two?
absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay,
And
okay.
if you have a website, a lot of times when somebody has already established business, they'll put a link on their website,
Right.
that says business funding. And when they click on the business funding, it goes over to your broker page,
Okay,
to
perfect,
your
perfect.
bank. I would recommend that you use the Bank Breezy page, bankbreezy.com/your
Right,
ID
right.
number.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're
That's what I've
not
been doing.
using Bank Breezy, on the David Allen Capital, the business funding page is my preferred page because
Right, yeah,
it's all inclusive more so.
exactly.
But the
Exactly.
Bank Breezy page doesn't give a business owner 10 different options to go, oh, well, do I apply here? Do I apply there? It's just one simple, straightforward application. So
Right,
yeah, you
right.
can absolutely do that.
Okay,
And
perfect.
if you don't have anything on your company site, if you don't use the DAC name or logo on your company site, and it's just a clickable link going over to business funding,
Right.
you don't have to get anything approved whatsoever because you're taking
That's
them
exactly how I
directly
have.
over
Yeah.
to the corporate page. Yep.
Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure I'm following the regulations, I guess.
I
I
appreciate
guess
that.
and the second question I had was since I've already been networking a lot over the past few years, one of the questions that was recently brought up at one of my networking events was, does my information stay secure? Because a lot of people say, I went and I talked to somebody like you that does business funding, and the next thing I know, I'm getting inundated with all these spams and emails saying, oh, apply for this, or you've been qualified for this. I really didn't know what to tell them. That just from my experience, I just told them everything is secure. We follow all federal guidelines and regulations, so it's you're not going to be spam. Kind of left it generic, but how is that kind of the right way to respond to something like that?
Well, here's the real answer.
Yeah.
Yes, we keep it secure.
Okay.
Our application is secure, and their information is secure in our system.
Right. Okay.
Unfortunately, we do a soft FICO credit pull. We do it from
Right.
Experian, and Experian sells those leads where we've done that that pull. They sell it as a trigger lead. So they're going to get bombarded with
Oh,
a bunch of other lenders, nothing that we had to do with, but because Experian sells those leads. I
right.
wish that our Congress would do something to prevent that, because
Right.
it's just horrible. They'll
Right.
get blown up, but it'll take a couple of days after they've applied with us before they start getting bombarded with calls. And you need to warn people about that.
Okay.
Say, our system is secure, but unfortunately the credit bureaus sell leads of people
Right.
that have
So that, yeah.
applied.
So, I mean, yeah, I can just tell them that any company is
Yeah,
going to do that because we don't handle the security on the credit bureau side.
that's right.
So,
Now
yeah.
let me say something, Alex, and I appreciate you sharing your bad stories on other lenders. I've heard it over and over and over again. Fortunately, I've not been involved with any of those. I
Hmm.
was telling a couple of weeks ago where when I first got started as a DAC broker, I was getting calls from people and we didn't have the solution for them at the time. And I'm going, oh, well, I need to find an answers for this so that I've got a funding solution for more people when they call me. So I signed up with a couple of other companies initially. And then when I realized their processes
Hmm.
versus the process that DAC simplifies, I'm going, I'm not doing that anymore. So I shut that down years ago, and I
Right.
only offer DAC. I
Yeah.
either offer DAC as a funding solution, or if DAC is not the best fit, most of the time one of my local banks is a good fit for them, and I'll do a referral with someone in my chamber network.
Right.
And also, unfortunately, I've heard of brokers that didn't get paid commission, so they
Right.
came into DAC very hesitant about all
Right.
that.
Right.
I can assure you, and Harlequin can too. She's been here almost 7 years. I've been here almost 8 years. DAC always does what they tell you they're going to do. So
Right. Yeah. No, so far I'm
your,
super impressed.
yeah,
And like
your
I said, I
commissions are
like
going to
the,
get paid on time, all the time. And I've just never worked with a company leader in this home-based business space that is as forthright and has as much integrity as David Rutz does.
nice.
So
Yeah. No, I definitely got that. And
you're in a great space.
no, I
This
appreciate that.
company does things the right way. So
And one thing I'll leave everybody with, especially if you're new to I guess entrepreneurship and building a business is something that is public records, and something that I utilize for free and endless leads is going to your county's website. They Because whenever somebody registers their LLC, it's public information. And I know last month, just for example, here in Bexar County, San Antonio, you can actually go and search for newly established businesses. And last month there was 960 businesses that were registered in the county of or in Bexar County. So the only thing is you do have to do a little research on your back end. It just gives you the name of the business and who filed it. So you actually have to do a little research on the online and find out if they have a social media page or website to get the email and name, or phone number. But again, it's public information, and I use that a lot uh, uh, to send emails to new businesses, just welcoming them to the entrepreneur side of things, and congratulations on their small business. And if they're interested in looking for funding, I'd definitely be happy to be a resource. And but again, it's a great way to get endless leads right at your fingertips without having to leave your house, if you're kind of pressed for time, or don't want to really go out there and go door knocking or whatnot. But it's a great resource to utilize your county website.
yeah, that's a great point. And with that, if they're a brand new business, we need to see that they're in business for 4 months before
Right.
we can help them with funding. But a brand new business is a good opportunity for you to bring them in as a payment processing customer. That's something we don't talk about a lot. But guys, if you have a couple of payment processing clients, you'll stay qualified in the DAC compensation plan, and it'll add to your personal bonus revenue that'll help you climb the ladder. So don't overlook the opportunity to help someone save money on their payment processing and bring them in as a long-term repeat customer that continues to grow your business month after month after month, where you get paid residually every month. When that bonus revenue hits, you get paid on the 15th on any payment processing clients that you have. Also, one other thing, Alex, before I forget, you're there in the San Antonio market, which I know is a big Hispanic Latino
Yes,
market.
exactly.
With you being new, you've probably already seen this, but it's worth mentioning. Bank Breezy has a Spanish version.
Right. Yep.
Yep. And it's only been the past few months that we have been able to do funding in the Spanish speaking community. Used to be that our lenders would only lend to someone who could read and write English. So now we have Spanish support internally, and it is an untapped market. So
yes, exactly.
if I were you, if you're into looking for team building, I would be looking for some bilingual folks
For sure.
to really get into that market space, and you can do the payment processing and funding on the Spanish side. We're going to soon have business opportunities in Spanish as well. That's something that's working behind the scenes right now. But what is live is the support for funding applications. So,
and I'm sorry to take to ask one more question that you just
that's
brought
all
up a
good.
great you just brought up a great or something that I had thought about, but I know on the lending side, you know, whenever they do decide that, hey, I do want to move forward, and in the training mentioned that they will do a hard pull just to verify identity and security verification and things like that. But that just made me start thinking. I know with the credit pulls or hard pulls and things like that, you know, a social is required. But do y'all is that also pertain to people who have EINs?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Okay.
if even if they've got an EIN, we're still looking for the owner's social security number. Okay, because the owner is the one that we've got to determine whether they're credit worthy or not. So you're talking about business credit. We don't even look at business credit.
No, 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 no. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not EIN. What is that? I-10. I-10.
Green cards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I-10
They
numbers,
can
which are
have a
like
green
social.
card. They got to show that they're a legal permanent resident.
Okay, so I-10 is okay though.
If you're referring, if that is a green card, otherwise known as a green card, yes, it is okay.
Okay, good. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Maybe this
On one thing that you said there, Alex, on the hard credit pull, we don't do those without warning, with the exception of Giggle. If someone applies for Giggle, that below 15,000 a month, if that's all that they qualify for, Giggle will do a hard credit pull before they fund that account. They'll do everything on a soft pull initially, but before they do a final funding on it, they'll do a hard credit pull 100% of the time.
So
Giggle.
it's just for not for Breezy.
Just for Giggle. Now, there are exceptions on the Bank Breezy side, but on Bank Breezy, we go strictly on that soft FICO pull unless there's something in the credit file that makes the lender leery and
a red
they
flag,
say, hey, we're going to do a hard pull here, but they always let the client know ahead of time. So the majority of the time, they're not going to do a hard credit pull on the Bank Breezy side.
Okay, good to know. All right, thank you.
Yep, you bet. All right. Anything else, Harlequin?
Yeah, just a quick comment for people. Whenever you're speaking, once you're finished, if you can mute yourself back again, that is helpful. And there were a couple of people who unmuted themselves. I think they might have a question, but wait until the person in front of you is finished so that we don't get background noise, because there were a couple of people that kept unmuting themselves and I was trying to mute them because there was background noise.
Gotcha.
So, and I
Can you
think
see me?
Dwight, did you have a question, Dwight?
No, I just wanted to make sure she could see me. Each time I'm here, apparently you don't notice me. And then earlier I tried to get on and I couldn't get on. Like I tried to get on from like 9 o'clock, from like 5 to 9.
I have been moderating it and letting everybody in. For some
Well,
reason,
Sorry
I
about
didn't
that.
see you on there,
that was on there.
Yeah.
and I just now let you on. So I apologize if you were in, because it wasn't coming up saying that you were there.
Sorry about
5 to
that, Dwight.
9.
Did you have a question?
No, just wanted to let you know I'm serious and I'm still here, and make sure that you know that. And if you know what's going to be the for April, what's going to be the incentive for what vertical are you going to be able to help like you did last time
Yeah.
with I think it was
We
barbers
don't
and
know that
salons?
until, we never know what that promotion is until we're already a couple of days into the month. David typically announces that on the first Tuesday Zoom, that business meeting that we do the first Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I wish he would
Okay, cool.
release
Thank
it
you.
sooner, but that's how he rolls.
And hopefully he won't wait until then, because the first is on a Wednesday, so we'd
Yeah.
lose an entire week. So
Yeah.
hopefully he'll announce it on Wednesday the 1st.
We can plant that seed this week. See if he'll do it a little bit early this time. But good comment, and glad you're here, Dwight. Thank you for letting us know that you're here and that you're serious.
Okay, thank you.
And
Noted for sure.
Dwight, I'm gonna send you a private message with my phone number. If you can't get in next time, send me a
Okay,
text.
thank you.
Okay?
You have my email? You have my email, or you want my phone number?
I'm gonna send you my phone number
Okay, but
so you
okay,
can
all right,
text me. Okay?
okay. And
Now,
will it be clear your name? It'll be clear to me who it's coming from. It'll be clear on the text.
Well, no, I'm
Like I
just
don't know your number. I don't know your number, so I have to know some way. It's. I have so many texts coming like they're crazy from
no,
different
no, no, no.
people.
I am not doing that. I'm sending you a message in the chat right now.
Okay.
yeah, in other words, Harlequin is the gatekeeper here on our Team Zoom. So she is now, look in the chat. She's sending her cell phone number. So
Okay.
you will have her number, Dwight. She's not going to be texting you. She doesn't have your number. It's up to you to reach out to her and say, hey, I'm trying to
Okay.
get in the Team Zoom. You're
Okay.
not seeing me. Can you please let me in?
Okay. Okay. So just so everybody knows, okay, I have diarized Mondays to be with you on a regular basis, on Thursdays because I have to be on the phone and do other things for the other sector. So if you don't see me in one of those days, there's probably an issue somewhere. Okay, so I just want everybody to know I've diarized Mondays for the 9 o'clock, on Thursdays for the. I can't go every day, but I put Thursday.
Thursday for the huddles. Awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
Awesome. Yeah, and if you can't be here live, catch us on the replay because they're all posted at daczoom.com. Mine is at
yeah. But I remember you saying
Winn.
on the
Mhm.
replay he edits it. He edits it. If I
He
remember
does.
correctly. So I don't
Yeah,
want
so
the edited version. I want the version where I can hear everything.
I know. I want that too. I wasn't able to be on the Zoom today, so we had Nicole taking notes for us to make sure there wasn't anything important missing. But the nut of it is recorded where the 8 to 10 minutes where they share the funding story, which is really good, and the point that the quarterback has for the day. The rest of it is conversation back and forth from brokers, which is always valuable too, but that gets cut out. So you got to be there live or go back and just watch the videos on the replay. So I would rather have some of it than none of it. That's how I look at it.
Okay.
All
Dwight,
right.
I sent my number. Are you able, go ahead and make sure that you can or write that down.
I wrote 404-216-9955.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what I got.
it. All right. Okay, guys. Well, if we don't have any other questions or comments, we're going to wrap up. I appreciate your time and attention tonight and participation. So everybody have a blessed evening. We'll see you tomorrow on the DAC Zoom at 11:30 Eastern. Be there early if you can.